I want to say welcome to the last week or the last day to be more specific. So, welcome to the last day of the Linux week. And today is our ninth day. I've incorporated both day 10 and day 9 in one slide. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about, as you can see here, our guy. We're going to talk a little bit about security and OpenSSH. So as you can see, quite literally, this is security. So we're going to go through that. So we're going to give like a one-line introduction. And we're going to explain about what is OpenSSH, why do we need it, what's the characteristics, a few stuff. So we're going to talk about OpenSSH. Those are one of the most important concepts you need to know when you're um, getting your Red Hat system admin certification. So those OpenSSH are one of the concepts in Red Hat. I think it's also at chapter 9, so that's good. We're going to be installing OpenSSH, and we're going to talk about basic configuration and key-based authentication, analyzing, storing, and monitoring logs. And at the end, I have incorporated, like from installing to monitoring logs, I have incorporated all in one slide, so we can do the lab at the end of the slide. I think it's much better to do that. Okay. So an introduction, we're going to talk about configuring, securing OpenSSH on Linux. So basically, SSH or OpenSSH, it provides an encrypted communication between clients and servers. So you see here, this is the communication between the client and the server. So OpenSSH gives us an encrypted tunnel that data can go through. So our data can be safe, and we can secure our channel of communication more. And I think SSH works on the port 22. I think we're gonna see that it's the default port for SSH. So you can understand it just provides an encrypted communication between clients and servers. Yes. So what is OpenSSH? So it's a suite of secure network protocols based on the SSH protocol. So if we went back to the networking day, I think it was day 7, we were talking about protocols, and we have the RDP, the remote desktop protocol, and we have SSH protocol, which is secure shell. And as we said, like in the last slide, it's a way of securing and encrypting communication between clients and servers, and it's based on the 22 ports. Okay, so key components of OpenSSH, we have like 5 commands or 5 things we need to understand. We have the SSH, which is the secure client for remote login. We're gonna enter our SSH server using this command. Yesterday we talked about daemons and services. So SSHD were one of the daemons we give an example on. And also SCP or secure file copy. We're not going to use that today. SSH keygen, which is generating. So it's a tool for generating keys. We're going to be using that. It's going to use the SHA 256 key. And SFTP, it's also for secure file. FTP, it's file transfer protocol. So SFTP is basically a secure file transfer protocol. Okay, so why do we secure our OpenSSH? To prevent unauthorized access, to ensure confidentiality. And if you're a cybersecurity student, you might be more interested in this slide. So we're gonna understand the CIA triad, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So securing OpenSSH gives you the confidentiality that you need to. It's also encrypt to prevent eavesdropping. So a really funny thing I read, that eavesdropping was like this concept was based on something that happened in the real life. So like people who wanted to like I don't know what they call them. Like they want to listen or they want to eavesdrop on others' communication. So they used to like cut the fixed lines and install their own lines, and they can hear the communication that happens between two people who are calling on the phone, not the now phones, the phones that were using lines, the fixed line phones, and maintain system integrity. So as we said, so the CIA tried are more of a cybersecurity concept, and yeah. So this is why we do need to secure our open SSH. Okay, so common security measures, we're gonna be doing that. So we're gonna disable root login to reduce the risk of system compromises. So also this first one is the number one security um, recommendation while using the cloud. So you have a root login. A root login is the account you log in with the first time, and then you're gonna have like users, and then these users are gonna have policies that gives them only the permissions they need. So disable root login is a common security measure in kind of like every system, not just OpenSSH or Linux. It's also used in the cloud. So you need to understand this concept really good. Also use key-based authentication for stronger security. So also this is in cloud. So when you're opening a virtual machine, you can open a key-based authentication. Maybe I'm gonna like give a brief like I'll open my AWS portal, and then we're gonna, or console, sorry, and then we can see that you can open a virtual machine based on a key. And then we're gonna change the default SSH port, which is 22 to 22242s, and employ tools like fail to ban to block suspicious activities. So fail to ban, if we went back to our last meetings, we're gonna know that this exact concept is for star you like use all the statistics and possibilities you have. So today's iPhone, I think, let me check how many numbers. Oh, sorry. So I have an iPhone and I want to open it using a password. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So today's iPhone pin is 6. I think the older versions were 4. So some people, when they forgot their passwords and they send it to a technician, they would remove like fail to ban code and give it to like I think they enter the number instead of 3 attempts, like 9,999 attempts, and then it's gonna plug it and they're gonna plug it into a device, and this device is gonna like try all the possibilities and all the numbers starting from like 000 0111 and until it unlocks, and then it gives the result back. So that was a lot on brute force attack. Okay. So we're gonna talk about like installing OpenSSH is kind of easy. We can do that. So you have to install, you have to update before we install anything. We have to update. So sudo apt update, and then we're gonna install OpenSSH server. And if you remember the systemd management, we were talking about this yesterday. So systemctl is a systemd management starting on enabling at boot. So enable is to enable it when booting, and starting is starting the service. This daemon, sorry, or service. Okay. Basic configuration. So as we said, we should remove the which is port 22 is the default port. So we're gonna change that, and then we're gonna permit a root login. We're gonna put it to no to disable it. And password authentication, no, we're gonna use key-based authentication, and we're not gonna do the last one, but you can do this. So allow user 1, user 2 to restrict users who can log in. we're gonna do that on the lab that is at the end. So key-based authentication, it uses what is called an RSA authentication, and also it's generated, the key itself is generated using the SHA-256. We're gonna see that also. So RSA is one of those security protocols that are used. It's one of, I think, um, these are one of the most hardest, or I don't think it's not unbreakable, to be honest. I think these are made on mathematic operations, and like let's check it out. Like RSA, RSA algorithm, yeah. So RSA, let us check that. So to be more specific, why is it stuck? My phone was lagging. Not phone, sorry, laptop. So okay. I'm sorry guys for the lag that happened. So it's a asymmetric cryptography algorithm. Asymmetric means that you have two different keys. One is public and one is private. So you can anyone else can have the access to your public key. Here you can see that it's giving to everyone, and private key is kept private. So yeah, this is the RSA key. And then if we want to copy public key to the server, you can use the SSH copy ID username and server. So username is your username and server is your IP address. And yeah, we can also set password authentication. This was in the basic configuration here. So password authentication, no, it will disable it. And then we're gonna restart the OpenSSH. We're gonna do that. Okay, so let's do that. I don't want to go to number 6. Let's go to our steps for OpenSSH. So first thing, I think I should share my full screen. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, great. So I have opened a new virtual machine for this hands-on labs because the other one I was like trying the OpenSSH on it and it works, but I wanted to try like brand new virtual machine and everything. I needed to be like up on a fresh start. Okay, so sudo apt update. This is to ensure that everything is up to date before we start anything. So everything is updated. I have updated like everything before this meeting. I did a full upgrade as well because I kinda liked when Amin told me you can do a full upgrade, and I did that, and it took a lot of time, but it's fine. It's become more better, I'd say. Yeah. So it's fetching all the things from the libraries. Kind of nice, but takes a lot of time, unnecessary time. I think Muhammad, are you a cybersecurity student? I think maybe you are. It's reading lists. We have done only the update, and then we're gonna install our OpenSSH server. So sudo apt advanced package tool, and then install OpenSSH server. We're gonna do that. And it's yes. Okay, great. So clear. and then sudo apt install, oh, sorry, and install OpenSSH server. So now it's gonna install our OpenSSH server. Yes, I want to continue. I should have put the option yes. I hate when it does. Okay, so after we're gonna check the status. If it's not running, we're gonna start it and then we're gonna enable SSH. Okay, so it's kind of, yes, here it is, RSA keys. So that's great. Maybe we're gonna do like, I don't know, I'm thinking of doing a meeting for cybersecurity students that talk about algorithm and cryptographic algorithm like the SHA, the RSA, the asymmetric and symmetric keys. I kind of like this stuff. So clear, and then we're gonna sudo system ctl status ssh, and we can see it's running and it's enabled, but it's fine. We're gonna do that again. So system ctl enable SSH, just to make sure that everything is enabled and it's already running, so we don't have to start anything. Clear. And then after we start and enable it, we're gonna open this file. It's a nano file. So as we remember here, we have said that we need to change the default port from 22 in basic configuration. So I'm going down there, here, sorry. So basic config. Okay. So here we're gonna remove the port 22, which is the default SSH port, and we're gonna remove the permit root login, and we're gonna give password authentication. So let's do that. First thing, let's open our file, which is sudo nano, and let me send it to you as well. Send it to you guys if there's anyone doing this lab with me. So here you go. Okay, if I press enter, it's gonna give me the configuration file, because as you remember, the etc it contains all the configuration files. So here we can see the configuration file of SSH. As you can see here, the port is 22. We're gonna change it to 42s. So this is the first one of the basic configuration we have done. So this is checked. And then we're gonna continue going down. We're gonna check logins. Yes, I think it's, yes, here it is. So permit root login, we're gonna remove it. So remember, in bash scripting, the hash sign is for up login. No. Yeah, so the hash is for comments. So I don't think we have anything else to do, unless if we want to like allow users or stuff. So I don't want to like do anything. Okay, so I think that's it. So I'll press Ctrl X to exit and modify, and then enter. Okay, so now after we have edited the things we needed, and then after we have edited the things we needed, like the default and disabling root permission, I think, yeah. Now we're gonna restart the SSH so it can like have implemented everything we need. So systemctl restart, and then SSH. It's gonna restart SSH, so clear. And then afterwards, we're gonna adjust the firewall. So allow, because we have changed the port from 22 to 42s, we're gonna apply the -p, which is minus port, to everything we use, because unless this way it's gonna take the default route and it's not gonna work, unfortunately. So we have rules updated, and then we're gonna SSH our username. So let me first write ifconfig and see what is, oh yeah, I need to install the NetTools, I'm sorry. So let's install NetTools, paste. Will it ask me? No, it's not gonna ask me. Okay. So I'm gonna like enter fconfig to get the server IP address. So fconfig. Here is the IP address where it is. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna enter this, copy, and then okay, so SSH Maya, which is my username, and this IP address that we have copied. So paste, and then we're gonna put it over port, sorry, 1P 20 42s. And then we're gonna press enter. So I think it's gonna ask us for something. Yeah. So are you sure you want to continue connecting when I'm gonna press enter? Yes, I want to connect. So it's asking me for my root password. I'm entering my root password. And now we have successfully entered because it's giving me the welcome to Ubuntu page. So when it gives us the welcome to Ubuntu page, it means that we have entered the SSH server. And this is this, or if you want PWD, it's going to give us that we're in the home, and in the user directory also means that we're connected. So print working directory, home user. So we're connected to our SSH server. So that's good. Let's do now keygen. So let's generate a key and use this instead. So paste. So it's gonna generate a key, and it's an RSA key, an asymmetric key, of course. So it's gonna generate a key, and it's gonna enter the file in which to save the key. I'm just gonna press enter, so it's gonna take this this path. So I'm just gonna press enter and then enter again. So enter and enter passphrase and then enter. So yeah, 100% gave us the RSA key, and this is the random image for it. And you can see here that it has used the SHA algorithm. So or SHA. So let's see the SHA algorithm. Secure hashing algorithm. This is the one. It's a modified version of MD5, and I think this is the one that cannot be understood, and it cannot be reversed. Or if you like entered a script to a hash function or a SHA function, I don't think you can retrieve it if you reverse the operation. Okay, so now after we have done this, we're gonna copy this, and it's gonna give us the same welcome message that we have got. So let's paste it, and let's change. So here we have the home, which is the wobbly eyebrow thing from yesterday. Okay, so let's change the username, which is Maya at. And let's get the IP address. So where's the IP address that we have entered? So let's take this IP address and paste. So it's gonna ask me for the password again. Okay, so now we're gonna try to log in. So key numbers of key added, it's 1. So this is what we need exactly. So this is how we generated keys, and we used them, and we have connected to an OpenSSH server. It's kind of easy. It's not that hard to do, but we have also a few things to finish. So we haven't finished everything. We've went to analyzing OpenSSH. So analyzing an SSH logs, it's a bit easy. I think you need also a few applications to do so. So we can entry. So it gives us the success logins, the failed logins, and the key-based logins. So let's check it out, and let's calculate and display. So let's say cat and var logs auth. So var, which is in the variable path, and log is for logs, and auth.log is it will give us the failed and success log attempts. So here we can see that we have session, and here we're gonna see that new session, and this is how we analyze the things we need. So here we can see that here sudo, there is no SSH, so we haven't session opened, and then we have added, as you can see here, an SSH. So great. Here we can see that we have successfully connected using SSH. Okay. So for storing logs, I'm not gonna do this today, but I'm gonna talk about it. We have 3 ways to store logs, either syslog or our syslog for enhanced syslog and logrotate. So maybe let's try this. So let's try opening this. And I'm gonna write sudo nano and then this file, so paste. Okay, yeah. So here, if we open this is the R syslog. Is it R syslog? Yeah. So here we can modify anything we want. So we just need to remove the hash function. I'm not gonna like play anything in this. I provide UDB syslog reception. I'm not gonna do this. But this is the oh, no, don't, please don't modify. Okay, I don't want to save anything, so no. Okay, that was scary, kind of. Okay, so for monitoring, we have 3 ways of monitoring. We have this one. So if we copy it and paste, it's gonna give us real-time monitoring. It's gonna give us the tail, which is the end of the var of the log. You can see here, so session closed for user root. As we can see, also here we have like a few stuff. Yep. And then this is for monitoring. So if you're a system admin, you're gonna like use this command to give us, I think this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So the last 10 logs that happen in this auth.log. So let's Control C and clear. Okay. So also we have Logwatch and ELK stack, which is the Elasticsearch and Logstash and Kibana. These 3 services are called ELK stack. Sorry, it's powerful log and analysis and visualization tools. Okay, so let me stop my let me stop my share screen. I'm gonna show you using the AWS. Let me stop my share and let me open my AWS console. I'm gonna show you the keys we were talking about when we were doing a virtual machine. Let me just log in. And then I'm gonna share my screen. So I think after we finish the AWS console, we're gonna be done for today. I've wanted this session to be simple. It can get really complicated, and I really don't want that. But so log in, please. Yes. Let me share my window. Okay. And tomorrow I'll be talking about AWS global infrastructure, and we're gonna talk about the billing, maybe. I don't know. I still haven't thought things out. Okay, so let's launch an instance. So we're gonna go to instances at the EC2 console, and then we're gonna launch an instance. We have the putty installed. I don't know. I don't remember having it installed. But let me share my whole screen. I think it's better. And let me stop my virtual machine. I think it's taking like a lot of So I want to shut down my virtual machine. I'll shut my entire screen and I'm stopping my VMware. Let me check PuTTY. If I still have it installed. Yeah, I do. Okay, great. Okay, so let's launch an instance. Let's do that. Okay, let's call it my or SSH Linux. Okay, so we're gonna use either Linux or Ubuntu. I'm gonna use Ubuntu. We're gonna leave everything. So this is the keeper I was talking about. So in older sessions when we were using the EC2 instance, I would like go proceed without a keeper, but now I'm gonna create a keeper. So we're gonna use it for PuTTY, as you can see here. Then we're gonna enter its name. We're gonna call it key1, and we're gonna use the RSA. So RSA, we have said it's a asymmetric encryption method. So create key pair. It's gonna download the key pair. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my key pair right here on the desktop. Okay, so we're gonna allow SSH. Yeah, we're gonna allow only the SSH part, not the HTTP or HTTPS. So launch instance. So the easy way to launch an instance, I think this is done, so let's close it. So the easy way to launch an instance is, or to connect an instance is using the connect here. Let's wait until it's running. Okay, so I have opened like 3 of them. Am I sharing my entire screen? I'm sharing my entire screen. Okay, that's so yeah, I think it's running. So one of the most easy, unsafe ways to connect to an EC2 instance is using this EC2 connect. I don't want to do that, to be honest, because it defeats our purpose of using the key pair. So let's do the best way. So enter hostname or IP address. Either you use this or this one. We can use the public IP DNS or the public IPv4 address. So let's do this. And we're gonna enter SSH. If we went down to SSH and we press this enter button, I don't think I can like uh, make this bigger. I'm sorry, guys. And then we press on this plus sign and auth. Yes. So credentials. And then we want to get the private key, which we have entered in the desktop. So this key right here. And then open. Accept. So log in as EC2. It's called Ubuntu, I'm sorry. Not Linux. So it's authenticating. Well, now we're onto the Ubuntu terminal of our EC2 instance. If you look at the private IP address, you're gonna see it's using a private IP address. It's not using anything that is available to the public. So 172.31.87 and then 105. So this is the private DNS. So now if we want to work on it or use anything, we can do that. Let me like make it a little bit bigger because myself I can't see anything. That's preferences. I can see the preferences. What are you doing, my dude? So I should have like changed the preferences before we have entered. So is it like change settings? Okay, so colors, font, I want it bigger maybe. I don't even remember how I used to do this. But that's fine. Okay, foreground. I'm gonna apply it. Let's see what's gonna give us. I don't think if it has changed anything. So guys, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able like to make it any bigger. So sudo apt update. It's gonna update now. Like literally the VMware we're using. It's not any different. We just So it's more secure than local console. Yes, it is. They're using the PuTTY way. You're using to enter it with an SSH key. You're not using the public IPv4. So now if we want to like install Apache server, it's not gonna work because we only have enabled SSH protocol. So we have enabled HTTP or HTTPS. So we can't like do anything. You can do a lot of things here, but for me, I can't. Right now, I can't like open Apache server or an Nginx server because if we went back to the EC2 instance and we went to security and security group and we open the security group, we're gonna see that only SSH. So edit inbound rules, we can see that only SSH is allowed to this virtual machine. No HTTP. If we lost the key, then it's your responsibility. It's not AWS or any cloud vendor. It's your responsibility. So if you lost the key or deleted it, you can't get that back, unfortunately. And if we tried opening the key, so let us open the key. I'm going to show you. It's going to give us a ciphertext. And the SHA function. It's going to give us the SHA function. So let me try and open it using a notepad. So open with Notepad. You're gonna see that it is a ciphertext, and you're not gonna understand or extract anything using it. So here you can see the public line are 6 and the private line are 14. And this is a ciphertext using RSA encryption and the SHA encryption and a lot of cybersecurity stuff. So yeah. So if you lost the key, then it's your problem. It's kind of a big deal. So I want to close this session and I want to terminate my instance. Let's go back to EC2 and running. And let's terminate this instance. So we click the instance we need and then actions, instance state and terminate this instance. Yes. Okay. So initiation, the termination of EC2 instance. So guys, let's give a quick Q&A session. Very difficult. I don't think it's even possible to decrypt, to be honest. It's not possible. Let's check. So let's ask the internet and let's see if it's possible. Is it possible to decrypt? Here it is, SHA. There is no direct way to decrypt it. The entire purpose of cryptographic is that you can't undo it. One thing you can do is brute force strategy. Brute force strategy is like nearly an impossible way of because you have a lot of possibility. If you're working with 265 character, you want to guess it, and 265 characters are so like if you entered a 10 character linked password or 20 or 5, it's gonna give you a like 265 character. Yes, Zaid.
في شيء يعني أنا شوي غريب علي إنه كيف ممكن شغل على الكلاود يكون سكيورد أكثر من شغل لوكال. أوكي ماشي، أنت شغال على برايفت اي بي ادرس، بس بنهاية المطاف الكونسول كله على الكلاود، يعني هو مش على جهازك هلا، هو موجود هناك على الإنترنت.
Okay, maybe you have understand me wrong. So it's not about the difference between the security locally and in the cloud. I mean the difference of more secure. It's using the connect. يعني شفت كيف احنا لما فتحنا ال EC2 instance وكبسنا connect, it connected with the virtual machine. It connected with the EC2 instance. Instead of this way, instead of directly connecting with the EC2 instance using the web browser, we can connect it using the SSH key, which is the PuTTY, the way that I showed you. ما لها علاقة باللوكال.
اوكي، يعني الشغل تاعك مش على الكلاود اللي
لا، على
بتعمله على
الكلاود.
الكونسول. طيب بس يعني that proves my point انه طالما هو موجود على الانترنت.
آه، كيف بدي أحكي لك؟ It's not because we're using the cloud. It's because we're using more secure ways to enter the virtual machine. في إشي لقدام راح تسمع عنه اسمه a bastion server. So a bastion server هو عبارة عن في عندك two virtual machines. The virtual machine you're working on بيكون ما عليه access على الإنترنت. So you can use it through the cloud console. So the only way to connect to this virtual machine is using another virtual machine that's called a Bastion server. And you only can access this server, the Bastion server, through an RSA key. This server cannot be accessed only through this server here. So the whole purpose is to use an SSH key, صراحة an RSA key من كل
اوكي،
هذا
يعني
الحكي.
ممكن نشبهها بنوعا ما مبدأ الفي بي ان، انك انت مش عم تعمل اكسس دايركتلي، عم بتلف يعني من اكثر من ديفايس.
VPN is using another IP address. بيكون ماخذ IP addresses. We're not using another IP address. We're using a way to not access it via the internet.
انا عارف، بس انا بحكي
م?
انه نوعا ما نفس الكونسبت، انه ما
انه
يكون
انه
دايركت.
هي ذا كجحة صح؟ في مثل عنا انه بحكي لك هي ذانك يا جحا، يعني بدل ما يحكي هي انه هي ذانك، نو هي ذانك يا جحا.
يس.
عرفت علي؟ Yeah, so you gotta twist and turn using security. By the way, this affects the CIA triad. So if you want more confidentiality and more integrity, you're gonna risk the availability, you're gonna risk the user friendliness. So if you want more security, you're gonna risk the availability and you're gonna risk the user friendliness. But if you want less security, you're gonna risk the
increase the
security.
availability.
Yes, to increase the availability and friendly user friendliness. Sorry.
يس،
This is
بالنهاية
what
تريد
happens.
اوفس، يعني انت
Yeah,
عم
exactly.
بتضحي بشيء على حساب شيء ثاني.
Exactly. فهذا الشيء بيعتمد على البزنس كيس that you need. This is why I like to teach students to read through the business case and the problem you have and to find solution based on the business case you're having. So some business case need user friendliness over security and some don't, like banks, for example. So banks would prioritize security over everything, over availability, over user friendliness, over UI UX, over everything. The most important things in banks are security, let's say. And also in every business aspect or business case, you have to prioritize security at the end of the day. But like instead of using like in the iPhone, instead of using a Face ID and a password and a finger login, you can like just use a Face ID and a password without like using everything.
True.
So today's session was really short. Um, And this is gonna be the end of Linux week. So end of day 9 and the end of the Linux week. And thank you guys for joining and staying with us the whole week. And if you have any question, please use my Gmail to contact with me, or my Instagram page, or my YouTube page, or like anywhere, Slack. And I didn't want to remove the slide because this was created by SlidesGo. It's the thing I use to do my slides. So let me stop the recording.